Hi, welcome back to the workshop for the 46th and final episode of the GGBO 2022 build. We've only got a little bit of assembly work to do, put some strings on it, get it set up and get it playing. Okay, so we're pretty much there on this one now. All there is to do is do some kind of assembly work, just putting a few bits and pieces onto this, and then we can get it strung up and set up. The biggest thing we've got to do is we actually have to make a nut for this one, so that might take a little bit of time, but other than that, this should be relatively straightforward. Okay, and there's the wee beastie put together. So with that done, all we need to do now is break out some of this mojo bone from the slopes of Mount Olympus and turn it into a guitar nut. Okay, so that's the nut shaped and smooth and all polished up. I didn't film that in too great a detail, we've seen all this before. So what we're going to do now is drop the two E strings onto the guitar, and from there we can kind of work out where we need the rest of our string spacing to fall, and we can get this nut cut and installed. Okay, so there's positions of the E strings marked out. And what I'll do now is just get my fret slotting rule, work out the positions of the rest of the slots, and just get them started with the appropriate nut slotting files in the vise. Then we can get this into position on the guitar and get them all cut to exactly the right depths. Okay, so strung up, plays nicely. The only problem is the nut action is just slightly high on some of the strings. I'm not going to go through a full kind of nut setup on this. I'm just going to get these down, kind of eyeball them in, get them somewhere close to where we need them. They're not very far off at all. And I think I also just need to kind of work that break angle in a little bit better on most of them. Still a little bit on the high side. Getting that. So I'm just going to work my way through the rest of these, get them all down to a nice playable height, and I'll get back to you. Okay, so that's everything adjusted. Kind of ballpark. I'm not going to go mad. I'll leave it to settle for a couple of days and then give it a going over again, but sounds very nice. Nice and resonant. And I suppose that really leaves one more thing to do on this, and that's to drag an amp out here, get it plugged in, and see what this thing actually sounds like. Okay, time to give this one a quick try out. I'm not going to get too fancy on you, just strum a few chords. So this is worth pointing out, I did some fiddling around trying to hide the wires a little bit, and I've managed to put the switch in upside down, so I need to amend that because currently this is in the bridge position and it's pointing up, and that will drive me crazy, but I'll fix it. But this is the bridge pickup clean. Middle position. And the neck position. So that's clean tones, so I'll just quickly change the settings on the Marshall and we'll get something a little bit more crunchy. And if anyone's interested, the Marshall is a 1977 JMP 100. So it's basically the 2203 circuit, which is identical to the JCM 800. So in essence, it's the first of the Marshall Master volumes. This one only goes to 10. It's currently on about half. And Mrs. Shed still says she can hear it in the house. Middle. Okay, and there it is, another one done. I've got to say, it's been a really enjoyable build, this one, and it's also been a build of firsts in many ways. There's a lot of stuff that I've done on this one that I've never done before. Never done a Zebrano fretboard before, so that's a first. I've never done these kind of offset inlays before, so that's another first. Faux binding, never done that before. I have done kind of semi-hollows before, but I haven't ever done one with these kind of pointy horns on. So kind of getting those to work something like properly was a bit of a challenge, but one worth taking, and one I nearly pulled off as well. Mostly, I'm quite happy with the way that they joined in, but you can kind of see on this one here, I actually sanded through the outer laminate. So there is a little bit of a corner there that doesn't quite match. Potentially, if I really felt that strongly about it, I could kind of put some toner on there to bring that more in line with the rest of the body. If I'm totally honest, I think I'd rather leave it there as a reminder to do things better in future. First time I've really used walnut in a big way on a guitar, both in terms of on the body and this kind of multi-laminate neck, and I'm very happy with the way that both of those have come out. And I'm sure if I thought about it, there was many other things that I've done on this build that I've never done before, and I think it's mostly been successful. It sounds as nice as I hoped it would. It is also fairly loud and resonant acoustically, which was of course part of the design brief as well. I think the only thing that I would say is that if this wasn't a great guitar build-off build, I probably would have liked to have spent a bit more time trying to get it a little bit more refined. There are one or two slightly cut corners, but I suppose that's the nature of the beast. I have as long as I need really to go back and kind of fettle things if I'm not too happy with them. Don't know if I will, we'll have to wait and see. So all in all, really happy with the way that's come out, and another build put to bed. I'm going to go away now and take a little bit of time and edit every single second of footage I have on this build into one full build video, which is probably going to take me a few days to do. So that will be up as quickly as I can get it done. And then I think I'm going to take a little bit of time away from the workshop, probably have a week off just to kind of get my strength back a little bit before I crack on with the next build. But that will be coming along before you know it, so keep an eye out for that. Until then, like if you've liked, subscribe if you haven't already done so, and I'll look forward to seeing you soon. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.